Yeah, and I'm very, very grateful for the career, and I'm very grateful for chemical engineering. All this stuff that I told you guys from my background and my past jobs, it's only to summarize that I'm prepared because I studied chemical engineering.
Welcome to the Chemical Engineering Guys podcast, a show in which we share stories and tips from chemical and process engineers. We talk about student and professional life, as well as important aspects of products, processes, industries, and companies. But more importantly, what are the paths that these unique individuals are taking in this ever-changing world? Let's get started. So what's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast once again. And now we have Trivi, or Daniel, which is a beer master. And before we even continue, please let us know or talk a little bit more on what is right here.
Okay, what you're drinking right now, it's a Belgian wheat beer. It has orange peel and it has coriander, and it's a very very fresh beer. Here in Monterrey, it's very hot, so those type of beers are very nice because of the weather. And it's made with a lot of wheat, so it's very smooth. And here, right here, I have an amber ale. It's just a plain American amber ale. It has these caramel notes. It has a little more body, and that's it. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for joining the episode.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very honored to be here, and I'm grateful.
It's all
not honored because this podcast is like just starting, but yeah, I'm grateful. That's the word.
I'm grateful that you came here, and I think it's the perfect moment to speak or talk about beer and chemical engineering.
Sure.
Actually, I enjoy a lot the flavor is very like grassy. I don't know if grassy goes with coriander, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's because of the aroma of the coriander. It has any hops. It has very little amount of
and
hops.
Definitely I feel the orange flavor, but I don't know, you mean orange the juice or orange the peel or a combination?
Actually, it's made with the peel.
So you actually take the peel and well, that's definitely something I didn't expect. And
it's
of
nice.
course,
It's nice to be experimenting
with things.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to be talking about beer because this guy right here is a master of beer, not only on craft beer but also on industrial beer. He works in a, I don't know how to say it, brewery, industrial brewery.
Leave it that way.
Yeah, that way, no naming. But before we even continue, I want to know more on your background, where or what interested you in chemical engineering, where did you study, who are you, what are your interests, why beer?
Okay, well, as he said, many people call me Trivi. My name is Daniel Garza. I studied high school with Manuel, and after high school, I also studied chemical engineering. It's in a school here in Monterrey that's called Universidad Autónoma de Nuevo León. And yeah, basically that's it. I studied chemical engineering over there. I don't know why I started chemical engineering. Back then, when we were in high school, I just loved math and loved chemistry, and I actually didn't see the career program. I just like joined them together and was like, okay, I like math, I like chemistry, engineering, chemistry, and that's the name of the career, so
I will say,
why not?
I would say 90% of people that end up in chemical engineering because they are very good in math and they like chemistry, maybe biology, physics, and they have this idea that engineers are, I don't know, they are a good role in society, they get good salaries, so maybe they say, well, chemistry, math, engineering, chemical engineering.
It was very curious because I actually liked not the engineering part but the hard chemistry part, so I was thinking on making just a degree in chemistry.
Pure chemistry.
Yeah, pure chemistry. So, but afterwards, I was thinking that I mostly like being like with people, and if I didn't see myself in a laboratory like all day long alone without talking to people. That's the perspective that I had before starting career.
Like a lab rat.
Yeah, I didn't want to be a lab rat, and that's the way that I saw it. Obviously, nowadays I don't think you'll
Sure.
become a lab rat if you
alone in the lab.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. That definitely doesn't happen. That's what I thought in the moment, so I chose the chemical engineering.
Okay, yeah, true. I would say you inspire me a little bit because you choose chemical engineering. I was into physical engineering or mechatronics.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, maybe I'm good in chemistry as well. And this guy, which I respect, is going also. So I need to show him some lessons in life. So I decided to go as well to chemical engineering. So
that was in your head, yeah, right. Yeah.
It was nothing about my future. It was I need to teach this guy a lesson. But anyways, let's talk about more into the actual work.
Okay.
Once that you graduated. What were you thinking? How did you land it? And tell us a little bit how it felt to be in that job.
Okay.
And whatever you think is relevant.
Yeah, you're just like come on, talk and entertain people.
Yes, exactly. That's the idea.
Yeah, I want to be a podcaster also then. So, long story short, I was studying in university, and you have to do these internships with the industry. So I started in an automobile industry. Actually, I was doing nothing related to chemical engineering. I was just programming, production stuff. So I was there, and then I did a good job. I went to another area in the automobile industry, and they paid very well. So afterwards, I heard a friend of mine that went to an interview with another industry. So he was like scared. He was like scared out of the...
Scared to take the interview or after the interview?
No, after the interview. It was very fun because he was like, okay, they want me to do like this heavy stuff.
Actual chemical engineering?
Yeah, actual chemical engineering.
Reactors, piping, heaters.
Yeah, all the stuff. So he went over there. He was telling me, right? He went over the industry because he was going to the interview, and they made a little tour in the area, in the production lines. So they saw a lot of reactors and tanks that were in the floor. And basically the guy just tells him, yeah, so there are the reactors, there's the building. So you're gonna make them work in the building, and you're gonna do all the pipelines and all the DTIs, the drawings and everything. And I mean, you're talking to a 17-year-old guy that it's like in 6th semester, and he was like shitting in his pants. So so he goes to the we were at school when we were talking. But
what's the best part is that you're a student. So if you fuck, no one is going to tell something to you because you're a student. You haven't even took any reactor engineering class, no chemical plant class. So of course you're scared in the sense that maybe you killed someone, or it may explode, or money is going to be lost. But you're a student. You have the perfect position to fuck up.
Yeah, actually, it's a perfect...
Right now, we think it. But maybe as a student, you don't think it that much. So that's a good lesson. If you're a student, fuck everything.
Yeah, it's not your responsibility. You don't have like the cédula profesional. It's the
legal...
You're studying. I mean, you have no responsibility there. So
there's no
if you
liability.
fuck up, it's not you the one that fucked up. Your boss or whoever.
But maybe the boss was a 8th grade student. I don't know.
Well, no, this time
eventually
it wasn't.
The good thing on hierarchy and structures is that eventually you know that there will be one head rolling minimum.
Yes, always. So he was talking to me about all this experience that he had over there, and I was like with my eyes completely open. I mean, I
Excited.
loved it. Yeah, I got very, very excited. And I went to the interview. And it was very weird because I liked a lot the work and everything, all the job and everything that we had to do. And I quit my former job, and actually internship. Yeah, it was an internship.
And this was a job or
No,
another
this
internship?
was an internship. Actually, when I went to tell them that I didn't want to work there, to quit, they told me that they were waiting 2 months until my contract expired to actually make me an employee over there.
In the car industry.
Yeah, in the car industry, which is very uncommon because I was still studying. So it was very, very strange. So I went to the other company, and not only I wasn't gonna be an employee over there, but they were gonna pay me less than my internships in the automobile company. But I really loved the engineering. I really loved all the work that I was going to do there. I was there 3.5 years, and basically
Chemistry, chemicals, bulk chemicals. What was the products?
There were a lot of chemical products.
But bulk, fine chemistry, pharma.
No, we're talking.
Food.
We're talking
Building
in
materials.
agricultural.
Oh.
Agriculture and lots of very specific processes. Really, the persons that were there, I respect them a lot. There were we had several processes that, for example, Bayern or FMC and all those monsters were not able to do them, and not because of the money that they had to invest, but they already tried to invest on
technical knowledge.
Yeah, the technical knowledge they had was not enough to make them, and they sent it over to us. Obviously, I was just an internship guy, a student, but I was involved over there. So we had very, very, very dangerous stuff over there. We had some Grignard reactions. We had Mercaptan reactions, which are not strictly legal in every country. So yeah, it was very, very, very cool. And I
enjoyed everything.
Yeah, I think it's
even the pay.
No, the pay now.
Work-life balance.
Eventually, I said I love here. I love the work and the job here, but I love more to give a better future to my family, to the economical part of the job, because it was very, very low
and that's sad because those type of jobs are really greatly paid in the US, in Europe. And you go here to Mexico and you say, wow, we are doing very crazy technological stuff. And we don't have that many prepared people to do that. And I don't know how they manage to lower the wages. Cost. So that's very, very not funny, like sad or strange.
It's sad. I mean, it's sad because, as you said before, it's not very easy to have a person know or have all that knowledge and to be able to apply it. And they were not. We were underpaid. That's the reality.
Did you actually? This is a silly question, but I am going to ask it. You actually use what you study in your university?
Yes. And I think I'm the few persons that can say that, at least in my college. Well, in my university. And all of my colleagues, I think I was the one that
was
at least less than 5 could actually work in chemical engineering, and especially in all the process and all the building of a plant
process
from scratch. So it was very, very cool.
That's the
dream.
The chemical engineering dream of actually designing stuff, building stuff, operating stuff.
Yes.
And it's almost everything, but it's sad. In this specific case, the bad pay. But anyways, now we already talked about your first job. I think you have 1 or 2 more jobs before the brewery.
Yes.
So can you? I don't know.
Just quickly go through them.
I don't know if they are relevant or.
I think the more relevant thing here. I think the more relevant thing here is that I worked in an automobile company doing two different industrial engineering stuff. I was a material planner and a process planner. No, planner. I only planned what the lines were going to.
So can you explain us, because not everyone that hears this, and most of them are students, what's the job or the task of each one of them, and why do you separate them? I will maybe guess the material and the planner is the same.
Okay, the person that is programming the production is the person that has everything on their inventory. They have all the raw materials, they have all the people, and you're just saying, okay, my client needs this, my other client needs this, so I'm gonna give the line these raw materials to do this client's request, and then the next clients and stuff like that. So actually you're only doing that. Obviously both clients can have similar things, so you're playing a little bit with the line to minimize the time of the changeover time.
Dead times.
Yeah. So, and planner, it's the other way around. I don't plan any of the production. I just talk to all the suppliers and fight with all the suppliers so that they can ship the materials that I need when I need them.
Why do you fight with the suppliers? If you are the one with the money. I know it's something silly to say, but it's silly. You need to show people.
I mean, like in every industry, you're not the only client. So all industries have problems. All industries have basically problems, and anything can happen in any type of industry, especially when you're in process. That happens very, very, very often.
That's true. Something which I think is very underrated, that production is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it's not that greatly seen in the industry overall. Mm-hmm. So a chemical engineer which works in the process of manufacturing, it's like, it's cool, a nice job. But the ones that get the better admiration are the guys that say, hey, I need this for tomorrow because this client, and the one that sells, sometimes that's like the important part. I have certain amount of material that we need to sell, and that guy is like, wow, you sold so many. Yeah. But no one says, how are we going to produce that? So
I've always seen it as if we are always behind the scenes. Why behind the scenes? Because the thing that you're saying right now, the salesman is like, okay, they have their target, their sales target, and if they are over the target, they are like, oh wow, yeah, sure, you're making a lot of direct money to the company. But what many people don't see is that we process people, and those could be chemical engineers or any other type of engineer. The people that are actually in the process are the guys that are supplying the vendor with what they need. So if you fuck up, the other guy cannot do their job.
Exactly.
So every job is important, and it's very difficult to shine in this part.
I think exactly that's very important. I also saw that when I used to work in the textile industry. It's very hard to show the value of production because generally speaking, sales is more important, or buying is more important, like reducing the price, because production is like, it's there. Or maintenance, also maintenance is...
Yeah, it's underrated.
They are maintenance, we hate that, but if you don't have that, you have machines, and that's the problem, is that you go a long time, and it's very hard to say, well, if you spend this money right now, you're going to have 15 to 20 years. Yeah. But in the moment you're without cash or cash flow, and you are like, nah, fuck that, right now, mono. So, going back to that job, then you this was...
that was before the chemical engineering employee.
Job.
And
then you
so I was a programmer, a production programmer. Then I was a planner, a materials planner. Then I was a real chemical engineer.
In the same company? Or
No,
you changed?
The first two were in the automobile company.
Okay.
Then I changed to the chemical engineer company. And then I got hungry and I decided to change to another company. I was in the salt business. It was just repackaging. Table salt. Table salt, it was a repackaging, and I saw a lot of machines over there, like mechanical engineering stuff.
Literally, salt, you mean sodium chloride?
Yeah, sodium chloride.
People think it's funny. It's one of the first things you learn on chemistry, and you learn sodium and chloride, and you see a lot of examples, and a lot of people say, well, that example it's not that important, but it is.
No, it is very important.
And you end up, and it's funny what I say here to students is never underestimate what you're learning in school, because then. I don't know. How do you were more into the production or the packing?
No, it was more like repacking the table salt. It was only sodium chloride. Any other salt was produced there, and yeah, it was repackaging and drying up the salt. The salt comes wet, and you have to dry it out. And
it comes from where it come from?
From oceans.
Like
literally you make like a little hole over there, and you
the sun dries up a little bit, then you further dry it.
And in trucks.
And you like that?
No, it was boring. But I did a lot of mechanical engineering over there. All the
evaporation, transportation, packing, waiting. What else?
Inventories, and lots of people management in there, which is not precisely a skill that you're shown as a chemical engineer.
I would say not any engineer overall.
Yeah, no.
Maybe, I don't know if there's like a human resources engineer. Pretty sure eventually there will be something like that, just to
people will manage to have one of that career.
Okay, so now we have a good profile on you. Let's talk about the beer. So this is perfect timing. I don't know if you were waiting for it. Like, let's talk about beer. And you
I just saw. I felt like a drunk guy just drinking alone. So
exactly. So we can let's talk about more on beer. The overall how you started with beer. Mm-hmm. Overall, why beer is good for you, or I don't know, whatever you think is relevant for beer. But more importantly, I want to how your profile is fitting this industry. How did you got the job? How does it feel to be there? How many type of positions have you been taking there? Yeah. And how, maybe if you can say a little bit on the COVID crisis, which I'm pretty sure it's now the something on the news.
Yes. Actually, all of the steps that I'm telling you right now have somehow led me to be in the beer industry. After the salt business, I went to another company, and that's again the automobile company from the beginning. They rehired me, but to make projects and other stuff. So I actually worked in a lot of things. I worked as industrial engineering, as mechanical engineering, as chemical engineering, production. So I think the moment that I'm right now in, and what led me to the beer industry, was the abilities that you are shown in the career, not the actual knowledge that the career is gonna give you, but the attitude, the discipline, and everything that you're learning in school, because it's a very, very hard career to cross. And in those years, I was just barbecuing with a friend of mine, and I was like, man, we're chemical engineers. Have you never like wanted to do beer? And he was like, yeah, dude, actually I bought a homebrewing kit a year ago. And I was like, okay, and how did the beer came out and stuff? And he was like, no, actually, I just left the beer over there in the closet, and it's still there. And I was like, okay, you made you bought the homebrewing kit.
You
made the beer.
Yeah.
And you just let it there? for a year, and he was like, yeah, I just forgot about it. So we opened the beer. Obviously,
They were not the best.
Yeah, it was
But
not.
could you drink them?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I have a little respect for my life, so yeah, I didn't do that. And there he told me, oh, here's the book that came with the homebrewing kit, and here is like the kettle and all the malts and stuff. And I was like, the malts and all of that, you can stay with them.
Yeah.
But I took all the little stuffs. Obviously, it was a very, very basic.
The useful things for
Yeah.
starting over.
Yeah. So.
But from like this dream of making beer, where it started, I think.
That day.
But before it was like a very crazy dream.
No, it was just like it would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, many people think, yeah, I would love to parachute.
And
I would love to bungee.
Yeah, exactly. I would never actually search.
Yeah, it's not like
never buy tickets. So I get you.
But afterwards, you're walking. I don't know, in Cancun or any beach, and you see a little.
The parachute. I don't know.
The parachute guy or someone like yelling, "You want a parachute?" And it's like, okay, yeah, why not? So that was sort of what happened to me.
How old were you?
Oh, I started 26 years old. I was 26. Right now I'm 31.
When did you start drinking?
Oh, about 16 years before that.
Okay, well.
I was about 12, 13 years old when I started with this. Yeah.
26 years. I had the same when I was working. Of course, you're thinking, oh, what can I do? And I thought about brewing, but I saw there were so many competition, and I said, I think it's better to keep it as a hobby. And actually, yesterday I was talking with a friend of mine, who's a chemical engineer, and he actually could like convert his hobby to a business. But it's very important to know when and how to do it. And I said, it's not even my hobby, it's just an idea. I don't actually have been brewing. It's not like, I brew a lot, therefore it will be a good idea to sell beer. No, it was like start from scratch.
Yeah.
So I think you got it better because you started from a hobby. You wanted to make beer for you, or also you were already thinking on selling beer?
It was very, very curious because at first I just wanted to start brewing, and I think that brewing, I mean homebrewing for a hobby and for personal consuming. And I think that once that you put something in your head, eventually everything starts to come together, and you start seeing things that are around you very differently. Everything just starts to line up in that thing that you want to do. Yeah, it starts to click. So that started to happen to me. I was going to do a homebrew, and I talked to a friend of mine that worked and knew how to homebrew. And he was like, yeah, let's start a homebrewing business.
So he was all in?
Yeah, he was all in. But
he was also, how much time did he went? Because maybe he was
he was an industrial brewer, and he had never done a homebrew. And it's very different. Very, very different. It's like taking your lab classes to actual engineering, and I mean it's not the same to do 100 milliliters in a flask than doing 10 tons a day in these big reactors with pumps and stuff.
Scaling is everything in engineering.
Yeah, and that's the actual difficult part that chemical engineers can do that no other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know more on quantity. So you quickly relate milligrams, grams, kilos, tons, kilotons. So it's easier for you. So you imagine already, okay, tons per week, okay, we need a truck. Or grams, okay, we will need such specific things. Or you size very quickly, you imagine the process very quickly. Which I think normal homebrewers will not. They will say, oh,
no, definitely not.
How much is 1 hectoliter? Okay, yes, I'll do it. And when I do it, it's, I only bought 24 flask and it's 300 a flask. So you're fucked up. You need to go there, but the beer will be warming. So I think as a engineer, you have the advantage already.
Yes, and when you go to an industry, it's very very different, because when you're in this example homebrewing or doing some lab experiments and stuff like that, you're not looking at, for example, the waste. I mean, oh, my efficiency is not that good. Okay, I'll spend one extra buck, and that'll make it up for the efficiency that I have on my brewing
When
equipment.
it's only $1.
Yeah, because it's just $1 that comes out of your pocket.
But
But when you're like in this big scale, I can say that, for example, point one of waste, it's a whole lot of money. I mean, point one of waste is what I would like that the company pay me. So
saving that point.
yeah, saving that point one. And that's very very cool, because you have these different perspectives, as you were saying, and it makes it fun to make these experiments. So I started homebrewing, like going back to the question. Yeah. So I started, I wanted to homebrew, and this guy was like, yeah, I've done beer before. And I was like, okay, let's start doing beer. Obviously, it was a disaster, a whole complete disaster.
But why? The equipment, the timing, one of you, a mixture of responsibilities.
I think we trusted the wrong guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I trusted the wrong guy. An industrial brewer is not gonna do the same process in the home brewing. Actually, that happens in a lot of stuff. When you do it here, like in a lab or in this case home brewing, you have total control of everything. If you want, for example, 1 liter of water, you can just take a measuring cup, and 1 liter is there. When you start working with pumps and those how do you call them, the counters, the water counters, or all these quantitative measurement supplies, it becomes very very difficult, because you have another variable over there that can go wrong, and they are not precise. Exactly. Or you think that they are precise, and they haven't been calibrated.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a ton of variables.
Like temperature, you say I need certain amount of water, maybe the water is there, but the measurement is 25 Celsius, you need it 18, and it marks 18, and you're very happy, but it's not actually 25. Whereas in the lab you have the thermometer or a digital thermometer.
Sure.
And it's not that, I get you. So also the pumps is also, it's not like, let me turn the pump, no, it's like, you have it, turn on, so make your calculations properly.
Which is fun. It's also fun to control this monster and make it what you want it to do, but it's more difficult. And you always have more, it's easier to improvise when it's smaller. That's a very, very big difference between pure chemists and chemical engineers. Pure chemists are more often, it's easier for them to just improvise. I mean, the temperature is 1 degree below. I just turn on the stove. Or I just heat up 1 liter of water and I can add it. Or I can take another thermometer. I can go to the drugstore and buy another thermometer if I break it.
Would you say they are better at their, let's say, at their art? Quickly, will you say they are better? They have an advantage?
In art, yeah, definitely. In the art part, yes. You have a little more practice. Not more. An easier way to achieve more stuff. And I think that is, more results. And I think that's the beauty of today that we're in 2020. The beauty of artistry,
craft beer?
Artesania. Craft stuff. The beauty of all that craft stuff that it's made by people in Pinterest and in Instagram, and all these small businesses that are one person doing what they are very good at, and all this art stuff, it can be done because it's one person focusing on their skills and doing everything very, very the tuning that they do and the meticulosity that they have, it's very, very cool, no?
Okay. So that was the craft beer part. Now I know that you're in the industry part as well.
Sure.
So I know that you try to align, because that's the good thing when you have a hobby that you actually enjoy, and you wouldn't matter to add with your business or professional life. The problem is when you don't want to, but in this case you want to. So how did you achieve? Because this is actually the dream of all guys that want to make beer, and they have been doing beer. How do they get into a industrial brewery?
I had a very, very good advantage. I mean, I've been homebrewing and actually had a craft brewery 3 years before I entered to the industry. So, yeah, you can see chemical engineers. They all exist. But people that are doing chemical engineering know that they don't teach you to do beer.
No.
They teach you the basic knowledge that you can wrap up, and that'll help you to do the beer. So I started already studying and everything, and there's no beer career. At least in Mexico. In US you can have civil or
I think in Spain they have some technical degrees.
Yeah, but they're not that common. I mean, people don't choose, or very few people choose, like, yeah, my career is gonna be a brewer. But they do exist.
So actually, sorry for the interruption. Now thinking on that, I would say that as a university or like a student institution, it will be great to have a brewery, because first, students will be interested, because even though you don't drink beer, it's a massive consumption product.
Yeah.
And second, it will be great for, I don't know, let's see how the coil works, make the calculations.
Yeah.
How much water do you want? At what temperature do you have it? There's a lot of things that you can add and enrich students that they will be actually interested on. Because I remember on my lab practices, we were experimenting with this heat exchanger, and it was cold water and hot water. I was, come on, who the hell is going to be cooling water?
No, it does happen in
the industry. I know. No, in the industry.
Yeah.
But you see there as a student, and you see just water passing by, and not even the colorants, just water crossing tubes. And you're okay, you have this temperature, go home, make the calculations. That's super boring compared to, okay, you have the most, how do you say in English?
The word.
The worth. So you need to cool it, you need to filter. So that's much more like interesting.
Yes.
That's something I want to say.
No, but it's very important, because yes, I had 3 years homebrewing or craft brewing. And obviously, because what I was telling you before, that there is no career in brewing, at least in Mexico, it's very, very difficult to acquire a new person that have brewing knowledge.
Okay.
So it's not like, oh yeah, I want an HR person, let me go to the university, and there's a big pool in LinkedIn or whatnot.
And if they are not engineers, maybe they're just like hobbyists.
No. That's the beauty of it. They are actually HR people that are working and looking for HR jobs.
Okay.
And in the brewing industry, that doesn't exist. You don't have a brewer that is looking for a brewery. Because most brewers that study brewing, they want their own business and their own craft brewery.
The dream.
Yeah, so in that side, it was relatively good
to have the background.
Yeah. That helped.
And besides, you had the profile of a engineer that actually is on the industry.
Sure.
Because maybe as we were talking before, you are into consulting or into something that is in the desk and makes no contact with the plant, no reactors, no heaters. And then you have this hobby, you love it, you brew beers, and suddenly you want to go to the industry, to the brewery. So I think it's harder to make that step, and you actually had the background. So that's why I always say have a consistent profile that fits that, because then when they see you, they say, okay, we need a guy that has been in the industry, knows about production, knows about equipment, and also knows about brewery. So I think they saw you, and it's perfect fit. Hopefully he's not a psycho and he passes all the tests. And once that you have that, because that's also very important. Maybe you have the profile and you end up doing the exams, or maybe you're very shy, like the student that you were telling me that he was very scared. So maybe you have the perfect profile, but if you are not going to interact correctly, that's also a very important thing.
Yeah, you have to be the correct person in the correct moment. So you can be, and you can have all type of opportunities right now in life. For example, right now with COVID and everything, you can have a lot of opportunities, and you need to be the right person to see that opportunity, and not only to see it, but to take advantage of it. So, I think I was the correct person in the correct moment.
That's very important, but I always say good luck, but preparation. Because you cannot control luck, so the only thing you can control is preparation.
And I'm sorry. Sorry for interrupting. And I'm very, very grateful for the career, and I'm very grateful for chemical engineering. All this stuff that I told you guys from my background and my past jobs, it's only to summarize that I'm prepared because I studied chemical engineering.
Okay, so
not only in the knowledge, but in the easiness to acquire new knowledge and discipline and all of that stuff, because I worked in almost any engineering and any job. So
truly, any industry, any company, any product. I think good chemical engineers are that they solve problems independent of if the industry is that, if your job is that, if there's such people, or the product is, I don't know, whatever it is, private, public, and so on. So before we finish, I like that closure you made, that chemical engineering. So you definitely do not regret studying that.
No, I regretted it when I entered when I was at first semester. Yeah, I regretted it, but
you wanted to go back to chemistry.
I think I was too young and stupid. I'm still stupid, but not young. So I didn't knew what I was thinking over there. You looked at what you were going through or gonna be going through, and I was like, I don't know why I didn't see like the study plan and anything, but I don't regret it. I definitely don't regret it, and more than the knowledge that I acquired in chemistry and science and everything, I think the discipline and all the stuff, the software stuff, soft skills that I acquired, those are the important ones.
Okay, so before we make our final conclusions, I usually ask very quick questions.
Okay.
I mean, not only yes or no, but try not to make that much.
Yeah, they're quick.
Quick.
Sure.
Okay. So, what would you change regarding your bachelor or university life in general?
Nothing. I'm very happy in the moment that I am in my skills, in what I know right now, and the versatility that I have in doing different businesses and stuff. And I know that all that background was what made me the person that I'm right now. Yeah.
What would you add to your bachelor syllabus, to the courses or subjects? It can be anything.
It's a difficult one. I think
a common one is taxing. I don't know, whatever. It comes art.
No, I mean taxing. You're not thinking in that moment. You're just
true.
Yeah, you're
Just an example.
Yeah.
I don't want you to focus
Yeah,
on.
sure,
I
sure,
would
sure.
love to learn about these specific equipment, whatever comes up to mind.
I think leadership skills, they are very, very important.
What would you remove from your syllabus? Something you would say, shitting, just loss of time, doesn't work.
Oh, all those humanity stuff.
Politics.
All those humanity stuff like ethnics and oh no, yeah,
Okay.
I hate those. Geography, history, oh no.
You had geography in your bachelor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It would be cool, geography of the largest plants, chemical plants. That would be cool.
Yeah, it was sort
Maybe
of like that.
in your country.
It was not called geography. It was like more ethnical stuff, and they made all these.
Has nothing to do with your job.
Yeah, and it's not.
Or
the reason
maybe
were
you
there.
end up in Chiapas and you have some difference between two indigenous guys and you want to know why, and maybe they don't speak the same language or they have differences. But I think it's irrelevant for the overall course.
Yeah, when you're interested in something, you're gonna study it, and you're gonna study what you need.
What would you study other than chemical engineering? If you couldn't have studied that, it doesn't exist, what would you have chosen?
Finance. Finance helps you in your personal life and in any business or stuff.
Favorite engineering subject or course?
Reactor designing.
True.
Or mass transfer.
Nice. A quick tip, 1, 2 or 3 quicks tips for students studying chemical engineering.
Get drunk, enjoy, and do the bare minimum to get over with. Now the third one is not true. It's gonna be a hard ride over the career, and just try to balance your life. Not everything is studying, and focus a lot in the skills that you're gaining when you're studying.
Okay, these questions are related to professional life. Who would you like to trade jobs with at least 1 month? That you want to learn more? Like, it's cool because it's only 1 month. I want to know about it, but only 1 month.
Okay, shoot me the other one, and I'll think of that one. That's a good one.
Overrated jobs in chemical engineering. That they say, this guy is maximum stuff.
Oh, all the design. All the design. I mean, yeah, all the design.
Okay. Design, you mean plant design or equipment design?
Plant design and all, more than designing, the how do you call them? The project managers.
Oh, okay.
The project managers. Just a quick parenthesis. This is why I said that the designing of stuff. All the things that you learn in chemical engineering when you get out of the Excel, because in Excel everything is perfect and cool. Exactly. When you get out of it, there's this you'll always see this old guy that knows the stuff, and because of experience, so you're gonna get with that guy, and you're like very, very emotional because the heat exchanger has to be at this capacity, and he's like, which is the tank before that, which is the diameter of the pipeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you need 0.5 more. And you're like, dude, I
look at Excel, it's 5 sheets long.
Yeah. So experience is a lot.
Okay, so a underrated job in chemical engineering or related field.
I think the supervisors and the chiefs of production.
I would say supervisors are the heart of the, because operators is not that hard to train them.
No.
And typically you have that a lot of them, so if some of them go, they can stand. Mm-hmm. But if a supervisor or a set of supervisors go, you end up with nothing because the engineer has almost no relationship or control over that. So I also always think about that. I don't say that, but definitely supervisors.
Yeah, because, and the way I think of it very quickly, the supervisors are the ones that actually have to know everything. Operators,
Exactly.
you can train them and they're doing the same thing.
That they are ordered.
Yeah, they're doing everything the same thing every day and they don't have to think. The engineer, he's just like giving results. But the supervisor is the guy he's like the shield of the engineer.
He's the guy joining the...
Yeah, everything. So he's the one that has to solve problems and has to have the knowledge to actually solve problems.
Okay, 4 more quick questions. What subject do you apply the most right now or overall in your actual job?
I think
Can be anything. Maybe ethics.
right now, because I'm in the beer industry, I think that it's a lot of reactions, oxidizing,
Kinetics or knowing...
No, not kinetics. You're never gonna. Well,
Nah.
I'm not gonna say never. I'm not gonna say
So
never.
never, because I have some
Yeah,
PhD students or researchers
Yeah.
working on that.
Yeah, but most of the time you're not gonna end up like with the actual theory, you know.
Just overall like data.
You have
data.
you have to know to dominate very well all the bases of all the subjects, and you have to be able to just stick them together and see the pros and cons of everything. So I think a lot of chemistry, of reactions, fluid transfers, because you're with pumps,
Exactly. Yeah.
everything like that. Yeah, I think those two.
Okay.
I think those two.
The best advice for students and young engineers.
Students and young engineers, I think enjoy.
Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy, and maybe it has nothing to do with your career, but enjoy what you're doing and be able to see inside yourself if you actually are enjoying what you're studying and you actually enjoy what you are looking forward to do. At the end, if you're doing what you like, you're not working. You're simply doing your hobby and getting paid for it.
Exactly. The worst advice you were given can be in life, in chemical engineering, in professional life.
I think it was study hard.
Study hard.
Study hard. I mean, the study part, it's obviously very important, but I think you have to balance your life. And the hard part is when you are unbalancing your golden years. Yeah.
And last one, a quick tip or for resumes or curriculums. I don't know if you're into that. Do they work? Are you a fan? A quick tip for them.
Be short. People don't like reading.
Exactly.
HR people don't like reading, and they have another 20, 30 CVs, curriculums. So just try to place yourself in their shoes and think about that. Think about the amount of work they have and the amount of papers they have. If you have a 2-page curriculum,
Forget it.
they're gonna just like get over it.
No one is so important unless you have researches.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you're a conference guy. But if you're a working engineer, only 1 page.
And be very brief. I mean, it's in work your numbers. You know your past experience, and every time you have to translate that into numbers. I achieved X% of anything. I reduced X% of this.
More concise.
Yeah, you have to talk numbers, and those are the ones that actually
Grab the attention.
Yeah, they get into the HR's person side.
Exactly. Well, that was the last question. No, but you didn't answer the one that you want. Who would you trade jobs for only 1 month, and why?
Someone in very, very high leadership stuff. I mean, right now I do the beer. I'm working with people, but I'm still inside production, and I think I would like someone that has a lot of people. I mean, GE, for example, a GE CEO.
Or BSF or Dow Chemical.
Yeah, Bayern.
Mexican.
Leadership guy. I mean, someone that has to work a lot with people. And I think that would be a very, very interesting and very, very grateful experience, because leadership is what separates people. You can always buy talent, but you cannot buy confianza,
yeah.
trust.
Yeah.
You cannot buy trust. You can buy talent, and the trust comes with leadership and lots of valores, lots of
values.
Values. I don't know how to say it in English,
maybe
but
no worries.
yeah.
Well, that was everything I wanted to share with you, Trivi. I don't know if you want to make a last closing statement for students, for young engineers, maybe not so young, or whatever guy or person is hearing.
I think chemical engineering is very, very nice. I love it. I love all the concepts. I love the versatility that I've acquired because of chemical engineering. So don't give up. It's a very difficult career, but with very difficult obstacles, give great and very fulfilling results. So just think in the future, think on after the effort that you're gonna be doing.
Okay, well, Trivi, thank you for coming and sharing those.
Thank you for inviting me.
Those beers were great. I really love craft beers, and these were definitely top 50.
He's not gonna accept it.
Making jokes aside, very great beers. Do you have any social media you want, or people want to contact you? I don't know, maybe for inquiries, questions, comments, or email, Facebook, Instagram.
You can send me an email. I think it's the best.
I will be adding the email to the description.
Sure, you can add it. It's Daniel under guión bajo.
I don't know.
He's gonna add it because we don't know English.
Sorry guys.
So we cannot say the
lower hyphen. No, I don't think.
I don't know
hyphen.
if it's hyphen or
Anyways, well, thank you.
Yeah, he's gonna post it there.
And guys, thank you for joining us. If you're hearing this, just stay to the last moments, and we really appreciate that. And hopefully you got something of value from this talk. And we will see you in the following episodes. Bye bye.
Please tell us if you liked it in the comments below, and also if you want me to get back to another talk with him, if you want any topic in particular, and I'll be very, very glad to share something that I've lived with you.
Maybe
guys.
craft beer next time.
Yeah, more of craft beer. That's the interesting part. So yeah.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And before you go, I will really appreciate it if you take the time to share this podcast with your fellow colleagues, classmates, friends, or really anyone that might be interested on the topic of chemical engineering and its related fields. If you found this content helpful and valuable, please consider subscribing, rating, and leaving a review. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot.